You've done it! You've made the decision to move abroad, so first, congratulations. And now it's time to tackle one of the most difficult things that you're going to have to do, and that is to downsize and declutter before you make the move abroad. Hello! If you're new here, my name is Cepee, rhymes with peppy from shehhitrefresh.com, and I help women age 30 and over break free from a life of routine and move abroad or travel the world long term. I myself did just that in 2015 at the age of 35 when I moved from Austin, Texas to Madrid, Spain. It's now been almost 7 years. I am still here and I don't see myself moving back anytime soon. If you're here, you too are probably interested in moving abroad, so I first want to thank you so much for stopping by my channel. On this channel, I talk about moving abroad specifically for U.S. citizens, and I would love to invite you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on any move abroad content. Alright, so downsizing and decluttering. When you look around to see what you've accumulated over the years, you might feel a bit horrified. Or if you're not horrified, you might just feel overwhelmed by the task at hand to go through everything and see what you want to take and what you want to do with the rest. I know that I had a lot of overwhelm and it took me forever to downsize and declutter my 2-bedroom condo in Austin, Texas before I moved to Spain. I had to go through everything and decide what I could fit and what I wanted to take in just 2 suitcases to start my new life abroad. So I know it's not an easy task, and I know that not only is it taxing physically and mentally, but it's also emotional to go through all of these memories that you've had over the years as well. So in this video, we're going to go over what to do with your stuff in 7 different phases. But first, before we do that, I just want to get to my weekly shout out. This week's shout out goes to Raptor IT, who commented on my video, 10 Ways Americans Can Work in Europe. And he says, hello from Galveston, Texas. My wife and I follow your channel closely since you're a prior Texan and have already addressed some of our concerns. We'll be there mid-September, so keep the videos coming. Thanks again. Well, I want to thank you, Raptor IT. Thank you so much for stopping by, watching my video, and commenting. It's always great to hear from my viewers, especially fellow Texans. I want to wish you a best of luck on your trip in September. And if you have any other questions, let me know. And for anyone watching out there, if you're interested in getting a shout out, please drop a comment or drop a question. And you never know, you may just be the next shout out that I choose. All right, without any further ado, let's get into it. Moving abroad, what to do with your stuff. All right, so again, I'm gonna go over this decluttering plan here that covers 7 different areas. And the first one we're gonna cover is selling your stuff. So when moving abroad, you can't take everything with you, or at least it's not advised to take everything with you. So amongst your stuff, you're gonna have things that you're gonna need to sell, and you can do that in a variety of ways. You can sell that online on eBay, you can have a garage sale or a yard sale, you can put it on Facebook Marketplace, or maybe where you're at, there may be local apps that you can use to also sell your goods. So selling is a great way not only to get rid of your things, but also to make a bit of money before your move. So post it on Nextdoor or wherever you need to. So just make sure that you take good photos and give a good description just so you can better captivate someone and catch their attention to give you better chances of selling your stuff. You've probably accumulated tons of things over the years, everything from books to CDs to furniture to clothing. All of that can be sold, so don't be afraid to sell it. If you are going to be selling online or even in person, you can even be open to bargaining. Definitely if you want to get rid of things, but make sure that you sell your items at something that you feel comfortable with, but also something that matches the value of what you're selling. So selling your goods may be a bit difficult because you have to get rid of things that you may feel tied to. But at the same time, it may feel like a weight off your shoulders that's been lifted. In any case, selling your things is a great practice in minimalism, which I think comes in really handy when you're moving abroad. Only take what you need, and there's so many things that we don't need that we have that are just taking up space and that we won't even remember that we even sold. The next category here is to donating your items. So the categories that I'm going through on this list here are not in any particular order. I advise probably the best way to tackle this is to have these 7 different categories that I'm going to go over. Have different piles or areas in your house and put your items in these different areas before you decide to actually move forward and do something with them. Number 2, again, is to donate your stuff. Donating is just a wonderful way to declutter and downsize, and it's also rewarding at the same time. There's a number of ways that you can donate. You can donate to people you know. You can donate at your local church, Salvation Army. You can donate on Facebook. There's lots of great groups for donation or free cycle groups there as well. Of course, if you're donating, the donating goods should have a certain quality to them, just in the sense that if you're trying to donate clothing, maybe clothing that are really old and have holes or maybe perspiration stains aren't going to be accepted by some of the places that you're looking to donate. So just make sure that your donated items are in good shape before you give them away to someone else. Number 3, the third category, is to lend your items to somebody. I love this category of lending, especially if you're not sure if your move abroad is going to be permanent. So for a lot of people, they want to test it out first, and so they may go abroad for a year or two and maybe decide that they want to move back to their home country, or maybe decide they're going to stay longer. Lending is a great way just to give your personal items to someone to take care of before you have to make an ultimate decision on what to do with your things. And this comes in really handy, especially when it comes to furniture and things that you may want to hold on to that may be expensive or difficult to acquire again if you do decide to move back. Number 4 is to scan and shred. I love the trick of scanning and shredding because with scanning in particular, this is a way to still have access to important documents where you may not need the original of. Maybe the original is not important, but you want to still be able to access that document while you're away. Well, scanning gives you that opportunity. You can scan your documents and then put them on a cloud system, either on Google Drive, Evernote, or whatever cloud system you prefer, and then you'll have access to these documents from wherever you are. So I did that with a lot of personal documents, old tax records, and other information that I wanted to be able to access from Spain, but I didn't want to bring the actual paperwork with me. So again, for documents where it doesn't matter if it's the original, what I did is I went ahead and shredded those documents that I had scanned. Of course, if something was important like a birth certificate, then I kept the original and just left that in a safe or left that with family members. Some other items that you can do this with are old bank statements, receipts, warranties, even like instruction manuals or guidebooks for maybe your tech items. And of course, like I said, old tax records as well. You don't necessarily need to keep the original, so you can shred those and throw those out and just get rid of some weight there. Another thing that I did too that I thought I'd share is in the midst of scanning all of my documents, I also decided to scan all of our family photos. Now, of course, I definitely kept the original of the family photos, but because they were put in storage just in the off chance that anything happens to those photos, I just wanted to make sure that I had a copy of them. And it's great because not only do I have a copy of them, but I can access them from anywhere. So I can go back to photos from the 80s or photos from my parents in the 70s, and I can access those and take a look at those at any time, whenever I want, from anywhere in the world. Number 5 on the list is storing your items. So you can do this a number of ways, but I know we all have things that we're not ready to give away or get rid of. It can be anything from furniture to clothing to even old notebooks, old birthday cards, or just any sentimental reminders of things that we still want to hold on to. So different ways that you can store your items is, one, you can leave them with a friend or family. And I wouldn't suggest to do this with anyone but someone that you really trust and someone that you know that isn't going to be moving, because you don't want your stuff to be making the move with someone else. It's best to leave it in one place. If you don't have anyone that you can leave your things with, then you can also rent a storage unit. This is something that I did when I initially moved to Spain. I had a storage unit that I kept for, I don't remember how long. I didn't keep it forever, but I had it for a certain amount of time while I first was kind of feeling out Spain before I knew that I was going to stay here long term. And so just got a little storage unit. I still went through all the other steps, got rid of a lot of things, but what I wasn't ready to get rid of, I did put in storage. Okay, number 6 on the list is something that you're going to have to do, and that is to decide what to take with you. We've talked about kind of getting rid of things, but also there are going to be things that you need to take and want to take with you. So deciding what to take is going to depend on a few factors. Number 1, maybe you're going to be traveling around the world. That's going to be a little different than if you're moving to one location and going to stay there. Your needs are going to be different, and also the amount that you're going to be able to carry with you is going to be different. Some factors to take into consideration are how much weight can you take on the plane. So I would really suggest to just move abroad with what you can take on the plane with you, your checked-in baggage and your hand luggage. I wouldn't try to ship things from the US to where you want to move to. 1, it is very costly, and 2, it can take a long time. And of course, number 3, I think most importantly, a lot of that you're not going to use. If you're going to be shipping furniture and items like that, a lot of places abroad are going to have furnished housing. You can hold on to that furniture, but I would initially ship that over. Other important factors are to definitely pack for the climate that you're going to. And I would say pack really early on. This is what I like to do, weeks in advance. And then just go through that again and again, because I always find like the initial packing that I do, I have so many clothes in there that I'm not actually going to be using, or so many things that I'm taking, not just clothing, that I'm not going to use. So give yourself a few times to go through and kind of cull through all the things that are in your luggage that you think you need to take. And if you need some packing tips, please check out my blog post on the 25 tips to packing when you're moving abroad. I will drop that link below. Oh, and last I should mention that you can always buy most things abroad anyway. So just take the essentials with you, and then everything else can be bought. There's no need to weigh yourself down and take more than you need, because especially if you're moving on your own, you do not want to be carrying all of that stuff with you as you move all the way around the world. Oh, and one more thing, I know I keep saying that, but when you're packing, make sure in your carry-on luggage to pack things like the important documents, your passports, any immigration paperwork that you have, and also all of your chargers and electronics there as well. You do not want to pack those into your checked luggage. I know that can sound obvious, but I just want to throw that out there just in case, or just as a reminder. And last but not least, number 7, the 7th category here, is to throw things away. So hopefully after you've gone through all of the other categories, you won't have too much left to throw away. But throwing away things can be very fun. And throwing away can also be recycling what you can as well. Getting rid of items in this way can be a very liberating experience. So if it doesn't go into one of the categories that we went over, to sell, donate, lend, scan and shred, store, or take, then it is time to just get rid of it and throw that thing away. Especially electronics that are broken, try to get rid of those, recycle those, old makeup that you have that's just been sitting in a box, and wires, cables, gadgets, just things that you do not use and you didn't even realize that you still had. Get rid of it all. This is your opportunity to purge, purge, purge. All right, and that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found these 7 different categories and steps useful to getting rid of your things, decluttering, and downsizing before you move abroad. If you're in the process of doing this, please comment below. Let me know how it's going. And if you have any tips, let us know. Let us share the knowledge and help each other. And of course, if you need more resources on moving abroad, please check out my digital book, I'm Outta Here, An American's Ultimate Visa Guide to Living in Europe, where I go over the 17 easiest countries to move to in Europe based on viable visa options. And of course, if you're a woman age 30 and over, please join my Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/she-hit-refresh, where you can meet over 10,000 like-minded women, where you can find tons of inspiration, resources, and support to help you with your move abroad. And last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on any future move abroad content.